Okay, sorry for the delays. We experienced some problems with Google Plus deciding that Aaron over in Australia doesn't exist. Don't know why. It took us the better part of an hour to fix it and figure out what was going on. Wouldn't register anything, but so yeah, we've got it fixed now. So let me go ahead and set up the comment box. Sorry for the delay. Just some weird technical issues with Google Plus tonight. There's Aaron right now. He's getting his airbrush set up.
God, most awkward webcam ever. There we go.
We are live. Don't know. So I'm getting the comment box set up right now.
Cool. So what was it in the end? Was it something blatantly obvious, or was it actually something convoluted?
No, I don't know. I know one thing that it was is for some reason YouTube accounts and your emails Google Plus accounts are separated. I don't know why. But apparently that's how it was set up. And even though I was putting your email in directly, it wasn't showing up for some reason. So yeah, we've got one viewer, so we probably did, we have no viewers. Uh-oh. Well, let me let everyone know that it's fixed now. I'm going to go ahead and post that on the...
Actually, they brought it all in, it was the beginning of last year, where you have to have your Google Plus and that link to use YouTube, but it was all separated, and it was even worse back then.
This was not executed very well, in my opinion. Makes it very difficult. All right, so let's get down to business, which the business we're in tonight is putting models together. I have got a couple of different things I want to put together while we're hanging out tonight. First, I have my my Kador model for my first Warcaster, which is going to be Commandant Erisk. I picked him up a while back, so I'm going to put him together. I got him used, so all I really have to do is clean him up, and he looks fairly well cleaned as it is. I'm just going to go through and glue them together. Then I've got my Eldorado Immortals and my Eldorado Lost that I'm going to put together. And I've just remembered that I also have a ton of blisters of Eldorado in the other room. But we'll get through this and see if I want to put those together during this.
I have all of this to put together.
Holy crap! What is all that? Is that chaos?
Nope, it's all Necrons. I've already got an Annihilation Barge, some Death Marks, and about 30 Necron Warriors on my desk as well. So that's not including what's still in box.
Wow. I've got a lot of spots myself too that I need to paint up. I'll have to do that one night on a hangout.
Yeah.
So is that a commission? I take it.
No, that one's actually. It's an interesting one. It's an army that I bought, and I'm building and painting it all in the next 2.5 weeks for something called the Australasian Team Championships, which is where each state in Australia and New Zealand create a team of 8 people. They all go and play a 40k tournament and get bragging rights.
Okay.
And then afterwards, I'm going to be selling the army.
That sounds cool.
That'll be interesting.
That's something kind of cool to show you. You remember those Classcraft buildings I've been working on?
Oh yeah.
So I've been going through and modding them, and let me show you the original version of this building, because I'm purposely leaving unmodded ones in the set. So this is the original version of the building, right?
Yep.
Pretty simple.
Yep. That's pretty neat, though.
Yeah. This is the second one of the kits that I got, and I did this.
I like.
Yeah, so it's kind of got a little bit of a little bit of an industrial feel to it now because it's got all the wires everywhere, and then it's got. I built this. I built this little platform out of the spare pieces of the sprue from the Plasticraft kits. The stuff is actually really flexible and really useful. So all I did is I put it under there, traced out the curve. I thought it was going to be a problem, but it actually wasn't. So that was pretty neat. I've got a bunch of them sitting over here primed and ready to get painted tonight, so that'll be fun when I start doing that.
Yeah. Oh, I love using sprue for things because I don't know if you've seen it, but
What's that?
this Imperial Knight did the base up, all those barricades. It's just Forge World sprue, basically.
Nice.
Works.
I think I saw pictures of that on your. Was that on your Facebook?
Yeah, it would have been. I think it also was shared by Bell of Lost Souls as well. There goes my webcam.
So Drew is apparently viewing from Niagara Falls. Oh, did we lose Eric?
Nope, I'm still here. Just no webcam.
Did you drop the
Yeah. It's the worst because the thing that clips it to whatever it's clipped to is actually broken, so I kind of have to carry it.
Lupo the Great is apparently watching his Martians. Aaron, do you have Hangout Toolbox installed?
Nope.
Okay. If you just go on to Google Hangout Toolbox, download it, install it, and then you can actually put the YouTube live show link into it, and it'll live show comments as they show up. Or I can just read them off to you, whichever one you want to do.
Oh, I'm pretty sure I can just go to your channel and just read it off there.
I think you'd have to refresh a lot, but I'm not sure. You could try.
I know when I was viewing it last time, they were automatic.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. Just mute the video and watch it from there.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, okay. Looks like whoever had this used a heavy amount of glue on this guy. So look at that. He's it's not going to focus very well, I think, but he's basically just got a ton of glue shoved in his neck. And let me close Facebook. Oh, that's Zach. Okay. Meepo is apparently my friend Zach, who is putting together models that he got in the All Quiet on the Martian Front Kickstarter that just came in. Have you done any Kickstarters lately, Aaron? Have you gotten in on any?
No, I haven't.
I got in on the Arcane Factories one a little bit ago. That I'm gonna get some pretty nasty looking stuff. I'm actually gonna use the it's the Angel of Death, I think. It's like that. It's the Angel of Death model, and I'm gonna be using it as a Ascendant Catan for Necrons.
That sounds good.
So how many points have you got right there?
Sorry?
How many points of Necrons is that, do you think?
This is 1850 points.
Oh, okay. I've got way more than that.
Yeah, so this was all just bought in one go, and it's going to be pretty much built and painted alongside other things in like the next 2 or so weeks.
Nice.
So that should be interesting, to say the least.
So, what kind of cool commissions have you had coming through, or that you're getting ready to do that you haven't done yet?
Oh man, let me see. I've just finished the entire Dark Elder thing. That's been, ongoing for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I finished some cool little Astral Claws vehicles, which was interesting because that was the first time I've really played around with lots of metallic, because I've never really painted Grey Knights or anything like that. And the Astral Claws are pretty much pure silver, gold, and a little bit of blue. They're the ones that I showed you before.
Oh yeah, those look sweet.
Yeah, so they're actually done now. I've got this Necron thing going. That's pretty much taking up all of the space on my desk right now. I just finished this neat little model. It's just a single thing. It's a Tau battle suit. I don't know if you can see it.
Put your hand behind it, see if it focuses.
Yeah. Nope, that's not going to do. Hold on. If I move my lamp to there. I need the lamp.
That's a little better. Yeah, that gives us a better...
Yeah. Basically, one of the Forge World battle suits, and I've magnetized the suits onto these little clips to go on the base, which is pretty neat. So I'll be posting photos of her probably later today. I've got... Hold on. I think that's a lot of GW boxes. I've then got... If I move this... Hold on. Awkward lighting. This, plus another 2 Imperial Knights. So
Holy crap!
Knights going. There's a bunch of epic stuff, so that'll be neat. And there's just a lot going at the moment. A lot. How about you? Other than the buildings that you're working on?
Oh, by the way, Aaron, you should probably introduce yourself so people actually know who you are on the Hangout.
Yeah, that would probably be good. Well, I'm Aaron from Titan Miniatures. Nearly said Titan Terrain. Yeah, we're in Australia. Might have seen me on Bell of Lost Souls, Warseer, any of those cool forums. I've been around a little bit.
And you do some very, very excellent paint jobs. Mouth-wateringly, droolingly excellent.
Thank you very much.
So, I do have some cool stuff that is going to be in the works over the next couple weeks. I've been in talks with some other companies to start getting some plans for some MDF kits that we're probably going to start pursuing.
Yep.
We won't have any, like, the kits won't go on sale on our web store, and well, our web store is still in the process of getting built at the moment. But the MDF kits, we're looking at getting a bunch of stuff done first that we can use with terrain, so that we have like sort of like our own bits that are just sitting around that you can only get if you get a project with us. Stuff like, you know, doors, windows, easy things that make it a little easier for us to get terrain sets put together cheaper for the client, because then that means we don't have to go in and build them all custom, and they look about 1,000 times better than anything we could do by hand.
Yeah.
But so what armies are you playing these days, anyway?
I'm actually not playing all that much 40k. I'm not really getting the time for it, but because I'm selling off my Tau at the moment, which has got a lot of painted goodies and some, you know, unbuilt Forge World stuff, which is cool. But at the moment, what I am building up is an army of Imperial Guard and Imperial Knights. So I've got the one knight painted. That was a test one, really. That was for myself. And then I've got a reasonable amount of guard painted.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I've got a lot of unbuilt guard and another knight sitting off to the corner waiting for some love.
About how much time does it usually take you to go through one of those Imperial Knights?
Ooh, the Imperial Knight took me about 3 hours to assemble, but I'm slow at assembling. I really dislike assembling. And including the free-handed Eldry, the shield and banner and that, I think it took about 7 or 8 hours to paint.
Oh, nice. So probably about 10 hours total on them?
Yeah, so I knocked him out in a day, so I'd say around 10 hours.
Looks like Jeremy is working on a Uriah Jacobs and an Archconfessor Kiranoff for a Huge Sisters of Battle project over at Blue Table. And then Meepo the Great has seen your pictures and, or no, he's seen Jeremy's pictures? Clarify that for us, Meepo. Whose pictures have you seen, Jeremy's or Aaron's? I've got to pronounce your name correctly.
Eventually.
Yeah. But yeah, let's see here. What kind of cool stuff can we talk about? Oh, orcs. What do you think of the new orcs?
So far I'm loving the look of them. I'm a little disappointed in the whole releasing model for the codex, but you can't really complain much because the models are awesome.
Yeah. There's going to be those people that knee-jerk and grab the models, I think.
Yeah. I'm just hoping for their sake that the models don't turn out to be terrible, like in-game. And like those units no one uses. But I don't see that happening, especially for the what's the new big beastie called? The
Zorkanaut?
Yeah, that one. I don't see that being bad by any stretch.
You know,
it's probably going to turn out being the Riptide, Imperial Knight, you know, that kind of thing. Wraith Knight for the orcs. Something that everyone uses.
My initial thoughts when I first saw the Gorkanaut Morkanaut was, oh, that's just another giant robotic thing that they're doing for every army now.
Yeah.
But then I sat on it, I glanced at it, and then I started looking at it more and kind of looking at the orcs in general, and I was like, wait a second, that actually fits, because orcs do make robots of various shapes and sizes. I mean, look at how many models of Stompas there are. So once I thought of it that way, I was sort of like, uh-oh.
Yeah. No, it's cool. And it also introduces a new
Well, my screen flashed for a minute like I wasn't on live for some reason. That was weird. Don't mess with us, YouTube. We've had a night already. Okay, so what do you think of the new shock attack gun kit? Have you seen that one?
I've glanced at it, but I haven't really looked at it. You know, to a huge extent. That's the one with the kind of swirling energy around the front of the gun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks neat.
I've got the one myself.
Sorry?
I've got the old metal one myself.
Yeah, I remember that because I played against a person using it just a few days ago at a little one-day tourney, and he rolled the whole doubles and blew up half of his army with it.
Oh, Jesus. You know, I actually have a true story from back in the day with my shock attack gun. So before I really got into terrain making, when I was just playing, I used to play at a place called the Rusty Scabbard. This is kind of going back into the whole how I never actually finished the story last hangout about how I got into wargaming. But I was playing at the Rusty Scabbard, and I used to play with a friend of mine named Marvin. Marvin was an older guy who played Nurgle, and it was back when Nurgle and Chaos was just the bee's knees. I mean, it was just ridiculously powerful.
Yeah.
But I'd gotten, and he kicked my butt like, I think, 10 or 20 times before I finally learned how to play my orcs.
Yeah.
And I'd take the shock attack gun every time. Just because I thought it was a cool model and I liked having a big piece of artillery that could just sit up on some ridge somewhere.
Yeah.
Then there was this game where he does his regular thing where he rides Typhus and a Land Raider and a full squad of Nurgle Terminators across the board on me. And, he just gets them up really, really far on turn 1.
Yeah.
And then it's my turn, and I take a shot with the shock attack gun. I don't scatter, I roll doubles, Typhus, a Land Raider, and all the Terminators disappear into the warp.
Oh, man.
So the funny part is the owner of the game store was watching it, and we literally had a 10-second pause after I said they disappear into the warp, when I looked at the result. And then Marvin just looks at me. He says, "Well, that was a good game. You want a rematch?"
Oh, that's great.
Because this was like, I think it was like a 1,500-point game. So
Yeah.
it was over half of the points in his army, and he hadn't really done much. He had been counting on them to wipe me off the floor.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, that's why I like orcs. Just the random stupidity of them is awesome. I hope they keep that in the new codex. I really do.
I do too. I'll be getting it along with the 7th edition book as soon as the Orc Codex splashes. That's the only reason I haven't gotten it yet, because I want to wait and just get both of them at the same time.
Yeah, fair enough.
Okay, we got... How do you guys feel about Games Workshop releasing the Librarium collection of mini-books without the new Orc Codex in it? Do you want to go first, or do you want me to answer that one?
You can go first. It's alright.
Okay. I really... I don't really have an opinion either way. The Librarium collection, I mean, the thing is that most people, I've seen this argument before too, aren't going to want all the books. Because, who's going to want to spend, $50 per army? I mean, even with the discount, who wants to spend that if you're not actively going to play the army? I mean, I've known some people who have like 5 armies, but still. The only situations that I saw that would be useful in would be like situations like ours, where we do commission work, so it's good to have the reference material around, or if you have like a game club. So I don't really have a strong opinion. I mean, they probably just didn't put the Orc Codex into it because of the fact that it hasn't come out yet. I could kind of see them releasing another one later on down the line that includes all the every 6 months kind of release kind of thing. So really, it's probably just because the Orc Codex hasn't come out yet, in my opinion. So, and for Meepo the Great, the Librarium is, it's basically just a bulk deal for a ton of codexes and rules. So what's your take on that, Aaron? What do you think of the Librarium deal?
Well, I'm not really swayed either way by it. I mean, it's cool, especially for people in Australia, because it is literally, I think it's about half price for all of the codexes, which is, given the fact that GW pretty much screws Australia price-wise at every opportunity that they get. It's awesome, but at the same time, who's going to buy it? I don't see anyone wanting or needing it, to be honest.
Yeah, except for maybe like collectors who have, extremely disposable incomes or something like that.
Yeah. And I don't know, GW's whole demographic. I don't know how many collectors like that, are out there that might want all the books, but my take would probably be if there were collectors like that, they'd probably have a lot of the books anyway. They're not going to need that kind of stuff. It seems kind of pointless, but at the same time, it's kind of cool just to be there.
Yeah, I mean, at least having it as an option, I can kind of see.
I mean, if you want them, if you want them all, great. It's a discount for you if you want them all. But if you don't, it's not hurting you.
You know what actually kind of irritated me with the pricing? I'm going to be honest with you. Someone made a comment about it. We now have the $10 Orc Boy. Technically, it's a knob, but knobs are now $10 a piece, USD.
Really?
Yeah, because it's $50 US for a pack of 5 knobs. I mean, yes, they're plastic knobs that come with all the cool options and everything, but it's still sort of like, knobs are not Terminators. Terminators, I can kind of see it because Terminators are ridiculously powerful. With the 2 saves and all of the power fists, and usually with all the gear weapons that they can take. But a knob, at least in the old codex, unless knobs have just gotten some massive power increase, that's just not worth the money. I'd rather eBay a bunch of old Assault on Blackreach knobs and mod the heck out of them myself.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've done. Actually, I have 3 Assault on Blackreach sprues that I've been collecting over the years, because when Necrons came out, a while back, I did that old jump to your old army because it's new again, and then
Yeah.
put your army that you were playing up on the shelf, and that's where my orcs have sat, pretty much.
Hmm.
But
Well,
yeah, that is my take on that, at least.
yeah. It'll be interesting to see how it all goes.
Hey, we have 6 viewers. At least we're keeping it stable now. Okay, so Aaron, your turn to pick a topic while we sit here and assemble our models.
Well, are you much into 40k at the moment?
Am I what?
Much into 40k at the moment? Because I'm not actually all that involved in many other games as it stands.
Well, you can always get into this one. You tried Eldorado?
I've heard it, and I've been tried to, people have tried to get me to play it, but I just never really got around to it.
It's pretty fun. Skirmish style. For those of you who do not know, I did a Lore of Eldorado video a while back. I'm going to be putting up more content for Eldorado as soon as I actually get our project load caught up a little bit and the last of our marketing push through the door. But it takes place during the 30 Years' War in Europe, and you have European, Middle Eastern, and Chinese Empire troops that have found gateways to hell all over the place. Just like open up, and there's all sorts of horrible stuff going on. I'd say it's like Malifaux level skirmish because you have maximum usually 10 models, and it has one of the most interesting terrain systems that I've seen because you actually have the table split up into 9 grids, and at the beginning of the game you bid tokens in each grid. Whoever wins can put that many points of terrain on the board, and it has a whole table in the rule book that allows you to see how many points certain types of terrain are.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really nice. So you can actually control the battlefield to a degree. And then the cool part is, like, let's say that we bid the same amount. No terrain appears, but you activate what's called a conflict zone, which means hell literally tries to kill everybody or do something horrible to both sides.
That sounds interesting.
Yeah, because it has, with the new expansion, the Inferno expansion, it has 6 playable battlefields, which I'll be building boards eventually for just to play on, because I really, really want to get into Eldorado. Let's see. Drew Kabubu. Okay. That's an interesting name. So, what are the big games going on in Australia at the moment?
Oh, man. Obviously, 40k is probably the top. But other than that, War Machine and Infinity are creeping up. Fantasy is actually, I'm not sure how well it's doing. I don't think it's doing that well, like Warhammer Fantasy. The whole Flames of War series is pretty much dying here because it's becoming really, really difficult to actually get any of the stuff in Australia now. Yeah, so that's a pain. Not that I ever played it, but it looked interesting, but now it's kind of dying off. But yeah, War Machine, Hordes, Infinity, they're all creeping up. Infinity's actually getting quite a good crowd here now, especially where I live. What other games are there? X-Wing's doing pretty well. There's a lot of people getting addicted to that. Have you ever tried that game?
X-Wing? Yes. I tried it back in Kentucky when I lived there. When our old game store closed down, we started doing a monthly hangout and we would rent this hotel room. It was like a banquet room at a hotel. And one of the bigger RPG guys who didn't like war games, actually he showed up with it one day and he's like, I don't like war games, but this is amazing. And we tried it and we all agreed that he was right.
Yeah.
So that's on my list of games to get into when I have more time.
Yeah.
Actually, just I'm finishing up a quote right now with a game store in New Jersey for like 4 tables worth of terrain.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's actually going to be themed. Sorry, that was kind of a jump to something else because I started thinking when I have more time, and then started thinking what are my current commission levels, and I remembered that.
That's all right.
Yeah, X-Wing is pretty cool. I want to get the starter kit, and then probably invite Jeremy or some of the other guys from BTP over to play it or something.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't really had the chance to do it because I had a mate that just went all out, bought the starter kit, bought every single other kind of supplemental thing for the game, and he loves it. But yeah, I just haven't really had the time.
Wonder what they're gonna do if they like try to release, because they've been doing the scale pretty good. What's gonna happen when they start releasing like the Super Star Destroyers and such like that?
Yeah. Oh, actually, pretty sure it was X-Wing when I was at the tournament on the previous Saturday, so only a few days ago. At my local gaming store, there was an X-Wing game going on, and there was a very, very large. I think it looked like a Rebel.
Rebel Cruiser.
Crew, yeah. And it looked. I don't know how long it was. Probably about a foot long or so.
That's pretty big for that level of that game.
Yeah. Although at the same time, I wasn't really paying much attention to it. I only really glanced over, so I'm not actually sure if they were even playing X-Wing. But it looked like it.
Oh, the joy of putting hands on arms.
Don't even get me started. So what commissions are you working on at the moment?
Finishing up Classcraft tonight. I'll grab this while this is drying. If you look at this right here, I did some mods to these. I was going to do piping along these, but when I really started looking at them, I realized that piping would make them look very strange on the main building. I'm still doing piping all throughout the rest of the set, but I decided to just do these wire effects, hooking the corners, so the corners kind of have, it's almost like exposed wiring, is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be, I've already actually primed like half of them over here. So here's a black one that's primed. You can see the details a lot better because it's not just stark white.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go through and airbrush them. This is the color that I'm going to use combined with a dark gray. It's kind of a really deep dark purple.
Yeah.
There.
Looks good.
So I'm going to have like an overspray of this throughout the entire set with some really bright purple highlights, which here's the color purple I'll probably use.
Yeah. That looks good.
And then I'll just mix in like I'm thinking, as much as I hate to say it, Roberto's gonna love this at work. The like bright greens, it's almost going to be Invader Zim colored in a way. It's stuck in my head, and I think it would look cool, kinda, a little bit. I've still got to finish the last of the mods, but that'll be pretty quick tonight.
Yeah.
Then I get to work on the Space Hulk casting.
Oh, yeah, nice.
Yeah, seen these?
Video for the shake table.
Yeah. What was that about the shake table?
Sorry?
You broke up a little bit.
Oh, I saw the video you posted about it, and I think in that video you showed off the cast a little bit, just for a second.
Yeah, I'm going to do casting runs pretty much as soon as our hangout is over. I'll be doing my first casting run because the way that the casting runs work is if you go to Herstart's website, you pretty much can you have to have something else to do while you're doing them. So I'll have music going and I'll be working on that while I'm also finishing up the mods on the Classcraft set, and then doing airbrushing on that all night because it takes about 30 minutes for a cast run to go through completely.
Yeah.
So in a 6-hour period, I'm looking at probably 12 casts of everything, and I'm going to need a lot of pieces to do the Space Hulk set.
Yeah.
I've also been posting our projects on Bill of Lost Souls. I've got a setup now with all of the different forum accounts. You saw me posting about that on Facebook the other day, I bet.
I believe so.
I got actually a really good game of Hordes in on Monday against a friend of mine named Brent up in Provo, Utah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had to end up leaving early because that was the day where everything wanted to delay me. Just could not get anywhere on time that day. I had old men in like Ferraris cutting me off. I'm not kidding. A Ferrari cuts me off, and later on down the road, I see it's like this old guy, like solid white hair and white beard, and I'm just sitting here going, Santa Claus cut me off. That ain't right. In a Ferrari. He was like driving a yellow sports car or something, some fancy sports car that I couldn't recognize. Then like trains just showing up randomly, deciding to show up right when I need to be somewhere. But I did get to play a pretty good game. He had Ninja Turtle themed minions.
Oh, that's awesome.
You know what I had to say though? And I had to say this because I was playing Legion of Everblight. And do you know Legion at all, Aaron?
Not really, no.
Well, you have heavy war beasts, light war beasts, and lesser war beasts. And the lesser ones that come default in all the starter sets are called shredders.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to take my shredders against the Ninja Turtles. That's horrible, isn't it?
It is, but it's awesome at the same time.
It is. Okay, so there's finish the assembly on my Kador Warcaster.
Nice.
So yeah, it didn't take much. He was already pretty clean to begin with. I just had to finish him up. So I'll set him off to the side, and now I'm going to bust open... what should I do first, the Lost or the Immortals?
Go.
Giant, dinosaur-like lizardmen demons, or half-demon Chinese people? Which one should I put together?
Go the Lost.
Okay, the Lost. The Lost it is. Let's see. So, all right, let's pose some questions to the viewers.
Yep.
Okay, what games are you currently playing the most? What are your current projects? See if we can get some people in on the conversation here.
Still 6 viewers.
It's going to be like that for a while. I mean, we did have the problem getting logged in, which we fixed now, hopefully. Next time we'll make sure to get together a lot sooner so that we can make sure that doesn't happen again.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Should get together early, but even then the 15 minutes was, yeah.
Yeah,
Welcome.
even gotten together.
Welcome to the labyrinth that is Google.
What was that?
Said welcome to the labyrinth that is Google.
I know. It was such a horrible, horrible experience with that. Ugh. Okay, so I'm going to tilt my camera here a little bit so you guys can actually see what I'm doing rather than just looking at my my braided beard. Actually, Trim, did you see I actually got the beard? I cut it down.
Mm-hmm.
Decided to go for the Khal Drogo look.
Try and move the webcam so that it can look at something a bit more productive than my face. That looks alright. Good enough.
Any Extreme Broken Bone stories? Extreme Broken Bone stories.
Oh.
Oh, wait! Somebody knows you, Aaron. Oh,
Yeah, okay, I can tell mine, I guess.
okay.
All right, well, rewind back to 2012. Um, it was at a sport carnival thing, and before me and a few mates before the event that we were going to be playing in, sorry, competing in, we got bored, so we decided to play. What do you call it in America? Do you call it and like your football? Is it NFL, gridiron? I don't know how you refer to it in the states.
Yeah.
Football? Yep. All right. Well, we were playing football. Um, of course, we were just mucking around, so it was on wet grass, no padding, anything. Um, I caught the ball. I went for a run, and basically, because I played basketball at this time, and two of the people on my team were actually playing as well, and I played point guard at this time, so I was pretty small compared to the starting power forward and center on my team. Essentially, I was running with the ball. I went over one of them, and then while I was in midair, I got spear tackled by the other. Landed on my neck and shoulder, so that put my shoulder out, dislocated that. I also broke my collarbone. So that was all good, and there goes my webcam again. That wasn't even the worst of it, that was just the beginning. No more than a week after that, I was actually, I was out of hospital, I was, back doing my normal thing, I was just in the sling. Then I took a really, really awkward fall down some stairs, and I couldn't brace my fall properly because I only really had one operational arm. So my leg bent the wrong way backwards, and that snapped my shin clean in two.
Oh.
I was in hospital, and because, I mean, public hospitals, it's great that you get all this, free healthcare and that, but it can be tedious at times. So essentially, broke my leg on a Monday. I was there, drugged up, so I could hardly see on painkillers until the following Friday morning, which is when they actually did something about my broken leg. So I was lying in a bed for about 4 days with a shin snapped in two.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever heard of something called compartment syndrome?
No.
Okay, basically it's where it can happen to anyone really that experiences severe trauma to any part of their body, but essentially it's just swelling. It's like normal swelling, except it doesn't stop. It doesn't see the point where it should kind of cut off. And a doctor came up to see me the night before surgery and specifically checked for compartment syndrome. Now, what compartment syndrome does is it keeps swelling and swelling and swelling, kind of like a barrel. And obviously, if you put more and more liquid into a barrel with no, room to actually release anything, eventually it's just going to kind of burst. Now, that's not what my leg did, obviously, but what it does do to a limb is it starts killing muscle, it kills nerve endings, and it basically, makes it useless. Like, you can't feel anything, you can't do anything. So this doctor checked the night before that. He was like, oh, okay, you're all good. No signs of compartment syndrome. Everything's perfect. I then go into surgery the next morning, and after they knocked me out, the people that were there with me, basically, the surgeon told them and was basically told them that I had severe compartment syndrome. And they had two options. They could either amputate my leg from the knee down, or they could do a double fasciotomy, which is essentially where they split my leg open on either side and put drains in it to take out the gross swelling gunk. So obviously they went with the latter. I'm not an amputee. They drained everything out, and that took about 3 days. They drained out about 2.5 liters of liquid out of my calf. Yeah, it was a lot. Then what they had to do is they had to put in something.
Really good morphine or something throughout all this.
Oh, I was on much more than morphine. I was on the what was it called? There was one called ketamine. There was one called I can't remember the other one. But essentially, I couldn't even like hold stuff. I was that drugged up. Um, yeah. So then, what they had to do after they took the drains out and sealed everything up is they put on a external X-fix, which is a very, very, very graphic little thing. Essentially, they drill in through your leg into your bones and put rods in there. Then I put 3 rods into my femur, 3 rods into my shin, and then the rods actually come from your bone out to the outside of your leg. So then what they do is they put clamps along the rods, and then they put 2 big supporting beams in between the 2 clamps. So basically your leg cannot move. I think it was like that for a good 3 months. Then after that, it was all good. I got that thing out. I slowly started to move my leg again. I started walking again, blah, 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 blah. But that's not even the end of it.
Oh, gee.
No more than about a month after I started, walking and that, I was back to training, like for basketball. And the doctor that I saw who x-rayed my leg was like, "You're all good to go. You're all right to play sport." Now what he did, he only x-rayed my shin because that's where the break was. He didn't x-ray my femur where the rods were put in.
Oh,
So in my first scrimmage, I got corked in the knee and snapped my femur in 2. No more than a month later.
man.
Because I got corked right where one of the holes was because they didn't x-ray it, so they didn't realize that the holes were still there. Although that one was alright. They did
Sound over there.
Sorry?
You got like a honk honk sound going on.
Yeah, that's my phone vibrating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so what they did is they just did surgery on me. They put a big metal rod down the middle of my femur, and I was actually able to walk on it straight away. Obviously, because of all the trauma, I wasn't, physically able to for a while. It took me about 2 weeks before I could walk after doing that, but, that was probably the most straightforward of everything that happened. But, yeah, in the space of about 6 months, I did all of that, and that was not very fun at all.
Well,
Like me.
I smashed my hand in a car door once and broke my middle finger. This one. This finger got smashed. But it wasn't that horrible. They just put a splint on it and it was healed in a couple months. Or maybe not a couple months. I can't remember how long. I was 8 at the time, so I can't even remember how long I had that on.
Yeah, I think when I was about 9, I broke my my pinky finger. It's kind of funny actually, because I was running through the house and I don't know what they're called, but you know how usually when you have doors on your door frame, you have these little bits that jar out from the wall just a little bit.
What was that? I'm sorry, I was reading the comments.
Yeah, when you have walls, when you have door frames, they actually protrude from the wall just a little bit, and you get these little supports. Basically, I was just running through the house, swinging my arms around for whatever goddamn reason, and caught my hand in there, caught the frame in between my pinky and my other one, and kind of just snapped my pinky.
Oh,
So that was
I remember the way I broke mine was it was Halloween, and still a little punk kid that hung out in the neighborhood. We lived in a bad neighborhood, and there's always that one kid that just runs around causing trouble everywhere. My mom told me to go get something out of the car, and I went out there, and he was out there, and I was getting something out of the car, and then he slammed the door on my hand. And then, of course, later on when the cops showed up, it was sort of like, "Oh, no, my son was with me the whole time." And I go to the emergency room and get my frickin' my hand looked at, and it's broken. I had to use and because I'm right-hand dominant, the really good thing was I got to use the computer for the entire time at school to do all my work on, which was kind of exciting because I didn't have a computer at home. So I was like, hell, I get every homework assignment was exciting because I could do it on the computer.
Yep.
So let's see, we've got some.
I think you need to be in a plastic bubble for life after this. Yeah. The amount of times that's been said to me.
Let's see. Dr. Surgeon is working on just about something for every game. Infinity, War Machine, Malifaux, 30K, 40K. Oh, that's a good question, Aaron. Have you done any 30K armies at all?
I haven't, but I'm actually starting my own. I haven't got much for it though. It's only like 10 Marines and a Praetor. But I posted photos of them up a little while ago.
Yeah, I'm debating if I want to get into that eventually, doing 30K. Because, I mean, it is Forge World models, so those are a little pricey, but it could be pretty fun. The models look amazing.
Yeah, they are nice. They are really nice models.
You know, I think I remember seeing, what is it the Corn Berserkers were called? The World Eaters? They just released the new World Eaters.
Yep.
I saw those, and I thought they looked pretty cool. World Eaters had, like, white and red, though, as their colors, didn't they?
There's one that's white and blue.
Oh, that's what it is, white and blue. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is such a flip from, you know, the gold and red that we see Corn Berserkers wearing now.
Yeah. I do like a lot of the schemes that are coming out from the Heresy Marines a lot more as well. You get a lot more aquary colors, and it's just a lot more interesting.
Wait a second. Drew Kabubu, did you not know that Aaron had this horrible broken bone story? Did you just ask that out of the blue? He left this comment saying, out of all the random questions I could have asked, Jesus. That's great. That wasn't even on purpose. I remember like seeing the picture of you all laid up with that. That's why I thought that he knew you or something, but I think he just didn't. That's kind of hilarious.
Oh man, that's funny.
So Infinity, what are you doing these days in Infinity? Oh, that's right. I forgot. I've also got this to put together. Check it out.
Nice.
The new Toha sniper.
That looks awesome.
I'll bust that together after after I get these walls done.
I approve. I approve very much. Let's see if we can get this to work. Alright. I think that's a little bit of a better spot.
So what Infinity armies are you playing these days? Or are you playing?
Myself, I'm not really playing Infinity at the moment, but if I were to do it, I'd probably go either Nomads or Toha. Those are my two favorite. What about you? Are you still doing the what are they called?
Toha?
Sorry?
The Toha?
No, I remember you talking to me about something before the Toha.
Oh, I was thinking about doing Caledonian Ariadnes.
Yeah, that's right.
Like they're like the werewolves and the Scots and Irish. Yeah, I thought about doing them. I'm trying to get my roommate into doing Aleph because he's not really a wargamer, but I showed it to him and he likes Aleph mostly because he really likes how all the female models look, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. The whole anime aesthetic of them.
Yeah, fan service everywhere.
First Infinity models I played, painted, sorry.
What's that?
Those are the first Infinity models I ever painted, actually.
Yeah, they're very nice looking. We were looking at like a starter box of the starter box and some Nagas and Devas, and then possibly Ajax as a good starting point for them.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
First, I did a lot of the Dakini robots and some post-humans.
Yeah, Posthumans, we were looking at getting those too for him.
Yeah.
I actually only have a few more models left to buy, and I have the whole Toha faction at that point.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, I've got to get some of the alternate sculpts for the Ektros, I think.
Yep.
Then I've got to get the Makal troops. It's just like a bunch of little things before I get into it, because I've been getting them as they've come out.
Yeah.
So I'm probably going to pick up the remainders of those sometime in the next month or two. I want to get my Eldorado all assembled and all of my War Machine and Hordes assembled first. Then I have my Warriors of Chaos built. I'm actually going to start devoting a night each week to try and get some models either built or painted.
Yeah.
Now that we're getting a little bit more caught up with the studio.
Mhm.
Let's see. Current projects on the block. Did you hear about the Necron project I'm going to be doing?
No, I didn't.
It's a Awakening Tomb World. So it's got all sorts of cool Necron-style terrain pieces involved. One of them is a prison for a Catan Shard. So I'm going to get like one of the Catan Shards and have it imprisoned in this big, huge, sort of like vault thing. What's it called that they imprison them in? I should know this.
I have no idea.
Tesseract.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah. It's going to have like basically a Tesseract.
Nice. So you're custom building that one?
What's that?
You're custom building that one?
It's a whole set. There's other pieces in it too. Like one of them is going to actually be a council chamber for the Triarch.
Yeah.
Where a bunch of the Triarch can get together and talk about, hey, these Space Marines are getting close to the Tomb World. What are we going to do about that? You know.
Yeah.
I really love how they gave Necrons actual personalities now.
Yeah, a lot of people don't like it, but I'm a fan.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, they definitely have more of a Tomb Kings in space feel to them, but I think that's a positive compared to what the army was before.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think I've ever taken a monolith since the new codex came out, though.
They could be cool in the new rules, though. I mean, they'll be damn near impossible to destroy.
They might have gotten a little bit of a kick there. I'm also planning on starting a Chaos Space Marine Nurgle army soon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of fun. I just want to get my Necrons painted up before I start expanding any more armies, and my Orcs because Orcs I'm actually going to be building some custom stuff for them, like some custom heads and arms for the whole army. A lot of conversion work there. Because my Orcs don't know it, but they're corrupted by chaos, so they're kind of fell Orcs in a way.
I like a lot.
Yeah. The whole theme is because I wanted to base them off Hellboy. Get it? The Hellboys.
Yeah. As you do.
Where's my snare and drum?
Oh man.
So it looks like Dr. Surgeon is painting a model for a little contest we do on Mini Wargaming's forums. Oh, that's cool. That's another thing I'm going to be doing. Me and Robbie next week are actually going to get together for 2 days, and we're going to crank out a basic terrain set for Urban 40K Ruins. We're going to crank out actually 3 of these. One of them is going to be for our studio, so that we can actually have something to play some games on. One of them is going to go to Mini Wargaming Dave for him to play awesome games on and battle reports, because awesome terrain is always useful. And then another one we're actually just going to put up for sale because a lot of the sets we've been doing have been heroic level and epic level. So we wanted to get a set out that would be basic level, so that you guys could kind of get an idea of what could come in a basic level set. Ah! Don't you love when you're clipping off something and it goes flying across the room?
Especially when it's big chunks of metal.
I know, right? Big honking chunks.
Workplace safety 101.
You have to play through the campaign in the books if you're going to play 30K. Let's see. Yeah, I've actually gotten a chance to look at one of the books. It was like the Horse Heresy book 1. Which, by the way, Aaron, have you read any of the novels?
No, I actually haven't. I've wanted to get around to it, but I haven't really. You know.
I've read through the first couple. I think the last one I read was Flight of the Einstein.
Yeah.
That was a really good one. I stopped reading them after that just because life got kind of hectic, and I got hooked into Song of Ice and Fire for the past year and a half. And I just finished Dance with Dragons, so now I'm getting back into other books again that aren't giant tomes of, what kind of feast they had and how many people died. All right, got this little dude put together. So this little dude that I'm putting together now is sort of like a demon hound. It's called Fangs of the Deep.
Yep.
Let me grab this zip coder.
You just love it when you lose something, but it's just right in front of you the entire time.
I know, right?
So bad.
All right, so I'll show this off real quick. This is Fangs of the Deep. It is a little dude for the game, Eldorado for the Lost. It's just sort of like a little mini Cerberus. They've also got this really, really big, huge guy called Jaws of the Deep. He's on a 40 mil base, and he's this big, huge beast with metal jaws. It's like he's almost got like 2 iron gobs on each on the top and on the bottom. And it's one of those things you just look at and you're like, nope, don't want any part of that. Do not want.
Sounds like it.
Oh, so Dr. Surgeon does play World Eaters for 30K. That's cool.
Oh, nice.
I know Thomas over at the table plays Emperor's Children, like the pre-heresy ones. Let's see. So you're doing Sons of Horus, right?
That is correct.
I
Or at
really
least-
liked the fluff for them.
Sorry?
I liked the fluff for them a lot.
Yeah. They're pretty neat.
You should get a hold of the first three Horus Heresy books because it's all about the Sons of Horus.
Shall do then. Shall do.
Let's see. How's those Necrons coming along?
Very slowly. I'm actually doing some Dark Eldar at the moment. Just gluing some pilots to their raiders so as I can pack them up and ship them off later today.
Nice.
Yeah.
So it's already painted and you're just gluing them in?
Yeah, pretty much. I've just been doing lots of little details to these guys.
So it looks like we've been going for about an hour. My computer's not overheating again because I cleaned it out.
Always a good thing. So what was the problem with it before?
It had about an inch worth of dust inside it. A friend of mine gave it to me, so I was like, what's making this computer overheat so much? And then I opened it up, and I had to disconnect the fan from the power supply and everything else, and not from the power supply, from the processor. And then when I got it all opened and everything, I literally just started reaching in with my fingers and pulling out huge chunks of dust. So once I did all that, she started running a lot smoother.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just an overheating problem. It was like shutting down and such. But let's see. Yeah, we've got the The Necron project's going to be pretty sweet. I'm looking forward to that one. Then I have a whole slew of objective markers I'm going to be doing this coming.
Tau Chaos E ones, maybe.
What?
Whatever they are. There's those the ones with the dead Tau on, isn't there? Or am I thinking of something completely different?
No. It's the Tau. They're Tau markers that are being overrun by Tyranids. So there's like overgrowth on everything.
Cool.
There's those. Then the White Scars objective markers actually got turned into a different project. He wanted to change it to Ultramarines because they're doing some sort of charity army, an entire company of Ultramarines. So we're going to be doing the objective markers for them as well.
Nice.
From what I understand, they changed the objective markers, how they work with 7th edition. Oh.
Kind of.
Okay.
So you've still got the normal missions that you had in 6th edition, so the, fairly straightforward point-and-click ones. But you've also got the whole Maelstrom of War thing, which is, I haven't had that much of a chance to play it, really, but essentially you get a deck of cards with all of these little objectives on them, and every turn you get to, pick up and discard cards, depending on what turn it is. You get a certain amount of cards or whatever. And they're all things like secure objective, 1, and you'll have all of your objectives numbered, and then you get, a certain amount of victory points for doing that. Or like if you issue a certain amount of challenges or kill a certain amount of units, then you get victory points for doing those things, as opposed to just normal, play out the game and then at the very last turn, you score your objectives throughout the entire game.
Oh, nice.
It's interesting. I mean, it can be very one-sided when, say, you pick up your cards and it's, secure objectives 1, 2, and 3, and they're all the objectives, on the other side of the table.
Mm-hmm.
Or, kill a flyer and kill a psyker, and they don't have either of those things. But overall, it's a lot of fun.
Oh, sweet. So I want to show you something real quick to give you an idea of scale. This is the general for the Lost. His name is Isha Ashke, which is a Lost tribal name. Now, this is a 28 millimeter, Commandant Irisk for War Machine. Roughly the size of a Space Marine captain, right?
Yeah.
Look how much bigger this guy is.
The base.
He's huge. He's on a 40 mil base too.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty big.
Yeah, I'm just looking at him, and I haven't glued the arms in yet, but he's essentially, the way he positioned is he's got one fist in the ground with it's sort of like one of those Xena blades raised above his head, like he's just gonna smash a cave your skull in. Which is, I love the poses on these.
Yeah.
And let's see, Drew Kabubu. Have you done anything else for mini wargaming? I live really close to there, so it would be really cool to see something you created in person. No, I haven't done anything else. This is only the first set that I'm going to be sending Dave. I've got plans to send him a heroic and an epic level set too. They'll just be staggered throughout the year. So we're first going to send the basic level set up, and then it's also going to be matching. It's gonna be for our 40K ruins, so that if you mix the basic, epic, and heroic level pieces together, they still look like they're the same set. So that's what we're planning on doing. Let's see. Dave is great. Played him a month or two back. Yeah, he's awesome. Dave is full of all sorts of wonderful Dave energy, which is really nice.
Are we talking mini wargaming, Dave?
Yes, mini wargaming Dave. I believe you're doing some stuff for them too, aren't you?
I am. I have done a few miscellaneous Infinity models for them. But I also have 5 Space Marine Storm Talons sitting to the side, waiting for their turn.
Nice.
So that should be, I mean, they shouldn't be too. They shouldn't, yeah, too hard to paint up, but it'll be a fun little project. It'll be neat if they use them in any games. I'm looking out for their battle reports.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see my terrain sets I send them get used in a lot of bat reps. It'll be pretty fun to see them there.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, the MDF sets that we're going to put out, we're going to be designing first a set of tokens.
Yep.
For War Machine and Hordes and Infinity. And we're going to do faction-specific tokens.
Yep.
So those are going to be pretty fun. Because I've always noticed that when it comes to tokens in games, you almost never have like the full amount. I mean, with Infinity, they sell pretty good tokens, and they're really nice. And I can't say strictly for Infinity, but especially like War Machine and Hordes, you never seem to have enough focus markers or markers for the things that you're trying to do in the game.
Yeah.
So that is that's something I'm going to start designing over the next couple months. We don't really have like a hard set time for when we'll actually launch those. It'll be after our web store goes up, which will hopefully be by the end of July. Just still looking at options for that at the moment.
Yeah. What to do. I could always start painting these death marks. I don't know how loud my compressor is going to be, though.
Oh yeah, my compressor is loud, extremely loud.
Yeah. Well, is this overly loud? Oh, it's already got enough air. Hold on. I'll just do this.
Let's see if it's too loud.
I will evacuate a lot of air pressure. Okay. Is that too loud?
No, that's a lot quieter than mine.
Okay.
Mine's extremely loud. Mine's an industrial strength one, so it's just big and huge and makes a lot of noise.
Always fun.
Remember watching that video now that I pulled it up? I'm planning on playing a game with them once my army is finished painted.
Which video is this?
That is Drew Kabubu. Which video are you talking about, Drew? My brain's resetting all of a sudden for some reason, so I may have completely forgotten something we just talked about.
Me too, I kind of zoned. Which is always fun.
And then Dr. Surgeon hates Horus pretty bad, so I think you just gained a nemesis right there, sir.
No.
And you're fine, Dr. Surgeon. Interact as much as you want. Keeps the conversation flowing. We can only talk about random stuff for so long.
Exactly.
So the more topics that you guys give us, the longer this hangout will go. Until we just get to the point where we're like, we're just working at this point.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
I'm going to have to go up to the post office sometime today. But it should be fun. It's open for another 3 hours.
Yeah. Grayskull Fitness Challenge. That's a good topic. Are you looking forward to working on that Forge World course?
I really am. I'm just waiting for it to arrive.
You've already ordered it?
Uh-huh.
Sweet.
But, yeah, Forge World is a little irritating to get into Australia.
I can imagine. So ordering it now is a pretty smart move.
Yeah.
So yeah, for those of you who are watching and don't know, though I don't know why you wouldn't know, but I'm just going to say it anyway, Grayskull Fitness Challenge ends the end of June. So if you haven't signed up and you want to sign up for it and you want to enter, set yourself a fitness goal, follow the rules on our website's forums under the Grayskull Fitness Challenge, and attempt to win some really cool prizes. Aaron here is going to paint up a Forge World Horus for one of you lucky people.
Most certainly am.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to need some high-res pictures of that to put up on our website, because it's just pretty
Don't
neat.
worry, there will be high-res pictures. I'm not going to paint a model like that and not take high-res pictures.
So yeah, that's a thing. I'm down to 211 as of last weigh-in. I'm hoping I can get down another pound or two before this Wednesday. Actually, after we get done, I'm probably going to hit the gym for a little bit and then get back to this.
Nice.
Yeah, I wanna cut down 15% of my body fat because I'm currently sitting pretty high. And then that's why I changed my goal as well. Is I don't care about numbers. Like I don't care if I weigh 220 pounds, I don't care if it's muscle. Because if it's muscle, it's fine. It's actually gotten to the point where some of my shorts don't fit anymore. Because when I moved out to Utah, I bought a bunch of shorts because, quite frankly, Utah is hot during the summer. I mean, it's the desert. And I put some on yesterday when I was just running around the house and needed to run out to the store to get something. And they fell right back off me, and I was like, oh, crap, I need my belt. It's always a good feeling.
That is.
Okay, so yeah, Grayskull Fitness Challenge. We've got all those wonderful prizes. Posted that on Bell of Lost Souls. I've posted it on Beasts of War.
Mm-hmm.
Are you active on Beasts of War or Daka Daka? Or just on Bell of Lost Souls?
It's mostly Warhammer Bell of Souls. I don't use Beasts of War. I mean, I browse Daka Daka from every now and then, but I don't really actively post on it. I should, though. It's a good forum.
Have you guys have much time to game and play 7th edition? Briefly, what are your thoughts? I haven't gotten it yet, so my thoughts are I want to get it. I want to play it and see what they've changed. I've heard some good things though. I did get a look at the Allies Matrix. Other than that, I don't really have any other thoughts on it yet because I just haven't gotten to sit down and look at it. What are your thoughts on it thus far, Aaron?
Well, I've played about 10 or so games so far, and I'm loving it. It's kind of everything I wanted from an edition, because you can really pick and choose whatever you want in a game now. You can be super serious, or you can just, mess around and do whatever. A lot of the little rules discrepancies from 6th have been cleaned up a bit, which is always good. There's a few new mechanics. I mean, albeit most of them are pretty small. They're pretty fun to play around with, like being able to flame into open-top vehicles and get D6 hits on the unit inside is pretty damn fun.
Oh, inside vehicles. That's
yeah. So you flame an open-topped vehicle, and you get D6 automatic hits on the unit embarked inside at your strength, and it's hilarious.
That could kind of suck for an orc truck.
Yeah, it would.
Or a battle wagon. Ugh.
Yeah, you get those whatever you want, Blood Angel assault squad with flamers. You drop down, flame everything inside the truck, and you're all good. But yeah, no, I'm enjoying it a lot.
I do remember something I did think about that would be cool.
Yep.
From a tactical standpoint, it's probably not that effective, but imagine an army of nothing but flayed ones.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I mean, just skin-covered Necrons everywhere. If the unit didn't suck so much.
Yeah.
I mean, there's ways you can mitigate it a little bit by, like taking Imhotep, keeping night fighting in play, I mean, they're not the worst troops in the world. I mean, they are Necrons, so they have the Necron rule, and they can do reconstruction protocols. There's nothing saying you can't stick a Royal Court Necron Lord at the lead of every unit.
Yeah. So
They
then
do.
you've got a Resorb and a War Scythe in there.
Yeah, if you stick like a powerful leader with the unit with a Resurrection Orb, you can make them a little bit of a tar pit, because I think they get like 2 or 3 attacks base, something like that.
Yeah. Or even if you were to throw a Destroyer Lord in there with a Resorb and War Scythe, that gives them all preferred enemy everything.
Oh, yeah, that would be good. A Destroyer would do well.
Yeah.
And I mean, Imhotep would boost them a little bit.
Yeah. Oh, my tech would be useful just for, night fighting everywhere. And the lightning on units is, helpful.
I've seen that turn pretty nasty at times.
Yeah, when I used to play Necrons when I had my army, I used Imhotep, and I unfortunately played a Dark Eldar player, and first turn destroyed 4 of his raiders with lightning.
How many of his raiders?
Sorry?
How many of his raiders did you destroy?
In 1 turn, 4 raiders.
Oh, that's horrible.
Blew up and took half of the unit inside them. So it was pretty rough. Anyway, I'll be back in a second because I've got to clean out my airbrush.
Alrighty. And I'm trying to glue this arm in. Where is it? Where is it? Why is it not working? Okay, so this arm is being difficult. There we go. So yeah, this is what he looks like. He's holding his arm down like that. And then he has this arm that is connected above, like so. And he's basically just holding a really, really big, huge blade. So I'm just kind of holding that to give you an idea of how he holds that. So yeah, he's a really cool looking model. I'm going to have a lot of fun painting him. I'm looking forward to getting more Eldorado figures as soon as I can get these assembled. Let's see. I have a fitness goal, but it's not big enough for what you kind of outlined. Well, what kind of fitness goal is it? If it's like body fat percentage, that's doable. Let's see.
I am back.
Nepo the Great, it's not that hot. Oh, come on! Come on, Utah is hot compared to Kentucky. It's not like humidity hot, though. It's just burning hot. It's more like, being on a grill. Let's see. The Emperor was not the greatest dad either. Okay. But yeah, Dr. Surgeon, what's your fitness goal? Toss it out here. I'll tell you whether or not it's good or not. We said in the challenge video, if it's like 1 pound, you're not gonna qualify. But if it's substantial to you, then there's a good chance it'll qualify. About you, Aaron, are you gonna get on the fitness challenge?
Yeah, I am, because after all of my bone crunching accidents, I kind of stopped doing much of anything fitness related, so I'm kind of needing to get back into it.
Okay, just not crunching any more bones.
Yeah, pretty much. I still haven't fully figured out what my goal will be. I'm probably gonna drop my body fat percentage by about 5 to 10%, and just put probably about 10 to 15 kilos of muscle on.
That's a good one.
Yeah, just because I'm not particularly unfit at the moment, but I'm certainly not where I'd like to be.
Yeah, that's the whole goal of the fitness challenge. It's not, it's not a judgment saying people have to be perfect in any sort of way. It's just, what do you want to improve is essentially what it is.
Yeah, exactly.
My friend Jason, he he's a big dude. He's muscular as hell. But he's constantly trying to improve. He's like, I want to drop this. I want to drop this. Everyone looks at him like, you're a freaking beefcake. What are you talking about? But for him, he wants to get himself to that point where he's happy with it.
Yeah.
I think that's really what the biggest point of this challenge. Oh, let's see. Meepo the Great is calling me a wuss. Hey now, Meepo. Which is what I'm going to call you from now on, Zach. Alright, well, it is close to 9 o'clock at this point. Sorry for the late start, guys. We just had a lot of technical issues with Google Plus hitting our connections. But now we've got it set up to where Aaron will easily be able to join this in the future, and won't have any more problems with trying to get the live broadcasts together. So I'll be posting a studio update tomorrow night, going over what the Plascraft set, what I'm doing tonight with the Plascraft set, and then the shake table casting. So thanks for watching. Remember, next week we are going to be doing a hangout with the Terrain Tutor and Terrainaholic, same time, 6:30. It will get started on time that time because this was just some sort of convoluted problem with the Australian Google Plus or something like that, was it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, just something about it ended up being conflicting, something, and it eventually worked, but it took forever for us to figure out a way to make it work. All right, so that's it for this live show. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for next week's episode.
See ya.